Mole in the Morning in your gaming news for the 26th of September 2022. And well, it is Monday. Not a lot happened. We have a few updating news on ongoing things and then a few smaller news. So this will be a relatively quick affair, at least for today. But hey, that's also good, right? It doesn't always have to be like a top heavy news day every day, because man, last week was just insane, absolutely insane. So I'm actually kind of glad that we are simmered down a notch, you know, simmered down. Quick update. This happened on Thursday evening and then broke on Friday. And because we didn't really had like a mole in the morning on Friday, the City of London police has announced that on the evening on Thursday, September 22nd, the City of London police arrested a 17-year-old in Oxfordshire on suspicion of hacking as part of an investigation supported by the National Cyber Crime Unit and the FBI. He remains in police custody, and this is apparently the person who did leak GTA 6. Yep, they have now arrested the person, and we will see how that goes. I will definitely keep you posted. Glad, like, here's the thing. I know that some people will say, but it's just leaks. What? They're getting into trouble for this, for just leaks. We talked about this over the weekend in my The Molehill podcast. By the way, if you haven't checked it out yet, you should. It's on my channel. But, or well, if you're watching this on YouTube later, it's on my main channel, link below in the description. But the reality is that leak did probably cost Rockstar and Take-Two millions, if not billions. Like, it definitely had immediate effects when the shares of the company dropped. Now, of course, it's a bit bullshit that just because a game leaks, people are selling their shares and turning their back on the company. It's like, what the heck? Are you stupid? Right? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But there was immediate damage to the company, and then of course there is the damage which might occur later. And yeah, it's not like, oh, it's just a few leaks. It's not that bad. No, it is. From a business perspective, build around a business which needs the hype and the surprise effect. That's not something you want, ever. And people finally have to realize that. It's the same thing when I see people saying, oh, what's a few cheaters? What's a few hackers? It's damaging to the business because people will leave the game. They will not spend money, and it will cost the company millions, if not billions. And people finally have to realize that. It's a business, and that business is losing money because of it. So that he gets arrested, that was to be expected. Now, we will see what happens, how much they're pressing charges, how much they want, and so on and so forth. We will see. I will definitely keep it posted, but this was to be expected. And it should remind a lot of people to not overdo it with the leaks. Like, a lot of the leaks which are happening are small fries, and a lot of companies are just putting their hand together in a fist and then are angry about it for a few days and then move on. But when you have something as grand as the GTA 6 leak, like, that's where the fun ends. Right? But let's have something positive. This is interesting. So, Cyberpunk 2077 has reached a new milestone yesterday on Steam. They have been the most, or the top seller, the number one top seller on Steam for the whole weekend, and also had over 136,000 concurrent players only on Steam. Keep in mind there are enough people who are playing this on GOG, like I do, or on PlayStation or on Xbox, right? So they had probably over 1 million people playing this game at some point. It's insane. And now you might say, oh, dude, I cannot hear that anymore. Like every day, somebody is telling me how amazing it is that Cyberpunk has now those numbers, and I'm getting a daily update on the concurrent player numbers of Cyberpunk, and I cannot hear that anymore. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people right here, right? But the reality is, it is still a major accomplishment of the people who worked on this game relentlessly to fix it. Because we had a time where Cyberpunk only had like 10,000 concurrent players. It was bad. Like just to put that into perspective again. It was really, really bad. The game was dead. And that it's now back after 2 years of release, again, is a major accomplishment for the people who worked on this. And no, I'm not speaking about upper management. Like, upper management can go and fluff themselves. I will never forget that they have lied to us consistently, that they have made promises, which never happened in the game, and that they basically tried to play us as fools, and it worked. It worked because it was CD Projekt Red. And a lot of influencers, a lot of journalists, me included, believed them without asking any questions. Like when they showed us the demo and they were telling us, hey, yes, the map is smaller than the Witcher map, but now we are going upwards and you have tons of buildings where you can just go inside and you can just visit like every apartment and all that. Like, I believed that, even though it was bullshit, right? And that was because of what upper management was telling us. And we were like, yeah, why would they lie to us? That doesn't make any sense. And now it's like, yeah, you're a liar in my book, and you are still a liar even after 2 years. Your developers saved your ass and made this game representable. But in the end, you are still a shitty liar, right? And some people have been asking, like, hey, does this mean because the game is now successful that we will see more Cyberpunk content? Will we get more patches? Will we get maybe more DLCs? Do we get something bigger than that? And it's like, no. No, we won't. People have to understand that when game companies plan for something and they plan like the next expansion or the next update or something, they are doing this years in advance. This is not a thing which you can just change on the fly and then have a new plan completely up and running in just a few weeks. There are only a very few games who ever manage that, and one of them is Fortnite. But because Epic has radically changed their approach on the game, and they were closing down other development teams, and so on and so forth. So, in Cyberpunk, it will not happen. We will get the one expansion, and then it will be done with it. And keep in mind, we're getting that expansion 2.5 years after the release, which is, in comparison to Witcher, pretty late. Yeah, pretty late. But again, we will not get another expansion. The multiplayer part was scratched. If you haven't heard that, and again, this the only thing it does increase the chance that we are getting Cyberpunk 2078 or whatever they are calling it, right? Whatever they're calling it. It increased the chance immensely, which is good. So we will probably get a second game sooner rather than later. But the only thing they now have to achieve is they have to make sure that the expansion will be amazing when it releases. Right. So yeah. Let's hope they're nailing that. Because if they have another shitty release, I don't think they're getting another chance. I don't think they're getting another chance. So yeah. They better nail this time. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Next news. Oh, this is interesting. So, before I'm saying this, please hold your horses. Don't get too excited. But the South Korean gaming rating board, which is giving age verification, has posted a new Silent Hill game. Silent Hill, the short message. Yep, this has been rated in South Korea. And if you're like, oh, what is this? Well, this is the interesting part. The platforms were not specified. So, before you were getting too excited, this might just be another pachinko machine or like a free-to-play thingy or whatever, right? Just don't get too excited for this, I want to say. Yep. It might be a new game. It might be there has been apparently like a suggestion, and we don't really know how real it is or not, but there has been a suggestion that they are trying something similar with the demo they had back in the day, right? So the short message could be another demo for actually an upcoming Silent Hill project. Now again, we don't really know how true that is and when it's coming and all that. The only thing we do know at this point is that Konami is gearing up for some sort of Silent Hill. They are working on some form of Silent Hill game. Again, what it is, we do not know. When it comes, we do not know. And keep in mind, it's Konami. Like, I know that people will point out, hey, Mobile Mole, no, it's not Konami. It's actually a third-party developer. Konami got smarter, and they are now, like, selling out their IPs to third-party developers, and this is totally different. Are you kidding me? Konami has been doing this for decades. Like the Castlevania remakes, they were not made by Konami. Like, you could even argue that, excuse me, 5 hours of sleep today, yay. You could even argue that the Metal Gear Solid games at some point were made by Kojima Productions and not really by Konami anymore. Yes, Kojima Productions was part of Konami and all that, but they were pretty independent at this point. Like, there have been games in the past where Konami has been just selling out their IPs to third-party developers. Like, this is not a new approach as some people try to paint it. That's not the case. And I will be honest, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Because the last time, I remember when Konami did touch some Silent Hill, and I know that people have been very eager to forget about this incident, and there was the HD remasters they released for the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, where they completely removed the fog from the game, because the developers were like, oh yeah, they needed the fog in the first two games because of hardware restraints. Sure, let's just remove that. And we don't need this anymore because now we have the hardware and we don't need to put those restraints in the game, completely ignoring that this is not just for restraints, but it was also setting the mood quite a bit, right? It's like, oh, come on. Remember that, please. Like, yeah. I know that a lot of people want Silent Hill to happen, but hold your horses. Like, take a deep breath and let it happen, and let's see what happens. But with that said, folks, we are at the end of the gaming news. I know this was a quick one, quick rundown, which is good. As I said before, there are not a lot of gaming news happening today, as it seems. Maybe in the evening, but we had so many news last week. It was insane. So having a slower day is nice. But again, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you might leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to this one you're watching on. And of course, I would also appreciate if you might subscribe to my main channel. You'll find the link in the video description, where we are doing like guides, live streams from Monday to Friday. I'm doing reaction videos, and we are doing tons of interesting things on the channel, which you might enjoy. So if it's just for the live streams, where you want to check out some of the newest games way before they are sometimes coming out, you might want to stop by from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 a.m. East Coast time, which is 2 p.m. Central European time, and 1 p.m. UK time. So again, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.